This is Trade Alive with IUX, where markets come alive and trading gets real. Let's go live.
This podcast is brought to you by IUX Trading Platform, elevating your trading experience.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to the IUX Podcast. We're so glad you're tuning in because we know you're part of a group that is serious about improving your trading. You're here because you want real answers, not just quick tips. And today, we are addressing the biggest question of all. Why do so many traders fail? If you ask most people, they'll say it's because of a bad strategy or a bad indicator. But the truth is, it's often not because their strategies are terrible, but because their actions are completely inconsistent. They have a brilliant plan on Monday. They follow it perfectly. But then on Tuesday, after one or two losses, they get scared. They hesitate. On Wednesday, after another loss, they get angry and they trade out of pure revenge. By Friday, their plan is in the trash and their account is seriously damaged. Success in trading isn't born from a single moment of genius. It's not about finding one holy grail trade. It's forged in the boring, consistent, day-in, day-out repetition of good decisions. It's about building a professional framework. This is the science of habit formation in trading. Many new traders will spend years of their life and thousands of dollars searching for the perfect indicator. They hunt for a system that never loses, but they completely ignore the perfect process. Today, we're flipping the script. We're going to put the strategy to one side and focus on the execution. We're going to provide a clear, actionable guide on how to build good trading habits for beginners. This is how you transform your trading from a chaotic, emotional pursuit into a disciplined, measurable business. Before we can even think about building new habits, we have to understand why our old bad habits are so destructive. Trading is a game of psychology, not just strategy. Most trading losses, the big ones, the ones that really hurt, don't come from a faulty indicator or a bad strategy. They come from a momentary emotional lapse in discipline. I want you to think of yourself as having two internal traders constantly fighting for the controls. First, there is your logical self. This is the smart, analytical you. This is Dr. Spock. This is the you that spends Sunday night analyzing charts, back-testing a strategy, and writing a beautiful, objective trading plan. This self is calm, rational, and has your best interests at heart. But then there's the emotional self. This is the Hulk. This is the you that shows up at 11:30 on a Wednesday after you've just taken two losses and you're watching real money disappear. This self doesn't care about plans. It runs on a primal, ancient operating system of fear, greed, and a desperate need to be right. Every trading error you've ever made is simply the emotional self hijacking the controls. FOMO, fear of missing out. You see a chart flying without you. Your logical self says, don't chase, it's not part of the plan. But your emotional self screams, everyone is making money but me. I have to get in now. And you buy at the absolute top. That's a hijack. Revenge trading. You just took a loss. Your logical self says, a loss is a normal business expense. Let's wait for the next setup. But your emotional self screams, the market took my money. I'm going to get it back, and I'm going to get it back now. And you jump into a random, high-risk trade. That's a hijack. Hesitation. Your A-plus setup, the one from your plan, appears perfectly. Your logical self says, this is it. Execute. But because you're on a losing streak, your emotional self whispers, what if this one is a loser too? Let's just wait. Let's just see. And you sit there frozen as the trade takes off without you. That's also a hijack. A good trading habit is not a magic trick. It's a system. It's a set of pre-planned rules and procedures designed to ensure your logical self is always in the driver's seat, especially during moments of high stress. This mindset isn't something you're born with. It's a skill you develop through deliberate, conscious practice. It shifts your entire focus. It moves you from the uncontrollable outcome of a single trade — you can't control if a trade wins or loses — to the controllable process of your execution. You can control if you follow your plan. Here is the most important sentence of this episode. In trading, a game of probabilities, not certainties, a mediocre strategy executed flawlessly will almost always outperform a brilliant strategy executed inconsistently. Your habits are the bridge. They are the only thing that ensure your actions, in the heat of the moment, consistently reflect your well-researched strategy. So, how do we actually build good trading habits for beginners? We start by understanding science. All of our habits, good or bad, run on a simple three-step neurological process. This is called the habit loop. First, there's the cue, the trigger. This is the event that tells your brain to run the automatic program. For a trader, a cue could be the market opens at 9:30. But a much more powerful one is I just closed a losing trade. Second, there's the routine, the action. This is the behavior you perform. When the cue, the loss, happens, it often triggers an intense craving. A craving to remove the pain, the frustration, or the anger of that loss. The bad routine is to act on that craving by immediately jumping into another trade to make it back. We call this revenge trading. Third, there's the reward. This is the feeling of satisfaction that tells your brain this loop is worth remembering. And here's the trap. If you revenge trade and you win just once, your brain gets a massive, addictive hit of dopamine and relief. This reinforces that terrible, destructive loop, making it almost impossible to break. So, how do you build a new habit? You don't need a new cue. The cues will always be there. You will always have losing trades. You must consciously change the routine. Let's rebuild the loop. Cue, I just closed a losing trade. The feeling of pain is the same. Craving, I must do something about this pain. Acknowledge the feeling. New routine. Instead of revenge trading, my new pre-planned routine is I will close my platform, I will open my trading journal, I will stand up and walk away for 5 minutes. New reward. This is the hard part. The reward is no longer a dopamine hit. The new reward is a feeling of professional pride. It's the calm satisfaction of knowing you followed your rules. You were disciplined. The secret to making this new routine stick is to start incredibly small. Don't try to build 5 perfect habits tomorrow. Your willpower will fail. You must build a pathway. Pick one small action, one that is so easy you cannot fail at it. Before my next trade, I will write down one sentence in my journal about why I'm taking it. After a loss, I will stand up from my chair for 60 seconds. Before the market opens, I will review my trading plan for just 1 minute. The goal is not intensity, the goal is consistency. You are carving a new neural pathway. You must do it every single day without fail until the new positive routine feels more automatic and more comfortable than the old negative one. This brings us to the most important routine of all. You cannot be disciplined if you haven't defined what disciplined looks like. A vague goal like, I will be a disciplined trader today, is useless. It's not actionable. A trading plan is the script for your new habit. It is the foundation of your entire daily preparation routine. This is the analytical homework you do before the market opens, when you are your logical self, when you are calm, objective, and smart. It's the single most critical tool because it forces you to become a specialist. Instead of chasing random moves, the plan defines your specific high-probability setup. It's your professional rulebook, your contract with yourself. A good plan must explicitly define what market conditions will I trade. For instance, I only trade the London session, or I only trade when the market is clearly trending. This stops you from trading out of boredom. What is my exact signal to enter? For instance, I need a 50-day moving average cross and an RSI reading above 50 and a bullish engulfing candle. It must be black and white. It looks good is not a signal. How much will I risk? Maybe I will risk no more than 1% of my account on any single trade. This is your survival rule. This is its primary job, protecting your capital. Where is my stop loss? This is the most important question. This defines your acceptable loss. This is your point of invalidation, where your original thesis is proven wrong. By defining this before you enter, you turn a loss from a catastrophic emotional event into a simple, expected cost of doing business. Where is my take profit? Maybe I will exit at a 2-to-1 risk-to-reward ratio. This prevents greed from turning a winning trade into a loser. By defining these rules in advance, you remove all the guesswork. You remove all the emotion. Your old stressful habit was try to make money. Your new calm professional habit is simply execute the plan. That's it. This shifts your entire focus from the outcome, which you can't control, to the process, which you can control. This turns trading from a game of feelings into a measurable professional operation. This is the final and important piece that makes the whole thing work. How do you give yourself that reward for being disciplined? How do you reinforce the new habit loop? You do it with a trading journal. A journal is not just a boring log of your profits and losses. A P&L spreadsheet is an outcome tracker. A journal is a performance tracker and an emotional tracker. This is the single most important tool for building self-awareness. It's the flight data recorder for your trading. When you crash, the journal holds the data that tells you why. It's the only way to get objective, hard feedback on your trading. It helps you identify your strengths, your weaknesses, and most importantly, your destructive emotional patterns. Without a journal, your memory will lie to you. You'll remember your one great call and forget the 5 bad ones. The journal doesn't lie. With one, you can see the hard evidence. I've reviewed my last 30 trades. I see a pattern. Every time I feel FOMO, I chase a trade and I lose 90% of the time. Or, my biggest losses always happen when I move my stop loss. This habit has cost me $5,000 this month. This is how to build good trading habits for beginners in the most practical way. Your journal turns your performance into a scorecard. At the end of each day, stop asking, "Did I make money?" That is the amateur's question. Ask these professional questions instead. Did I follow my trading plan 100% on every single trade? Yes or no? Did I document my emotional state, example, patient, anxious, FOMO, during the trade? Yes or no? Did I respect my stop loss and risk rules on every single trade? Yes or no? When you can mark yes, yes, and yes to these questions, that is your reward. You give your brain the positive reinforcement we talked about. A streak of 5 yes days feels amazing, even if you had a net losing week. Why? Because you are successfully building the correct habit. You are proving to yourself that you are a professional. This feedback loop is what separates a professional process-driven approach from an amateur outcome-driven one. This is what makes the new disciplined habit stick for good. Success in trading is not a mystery. It is the direct, predictable result of well-designed, consistent habits. It's not about your strategy as much as your ability to execute that strategy, keeping your logical self in control when your emotional self tries to hijack the process. The roadmap for how to build good trading habits for beginners is this clear, four-part process. First, understand the why. Your habits are the bridge between your strategy and your actions. You are not trading the market. You are trading your mindset. You must develop the skill of a professional, which means shifting your entire focus from the uncontrollable outcome, profit, to the controllable process, execution. Second, understand the how. All habits use the habit loop: cue, routine, reward. To change a bad habit, you must identify the cue, like a losing trade, and consciously replace the destructive routine, like revenge trading, with a new productive one. The key is to start small and prioritize consistency until the new action becomes automatic. Your new routine is your trading plan. This is your cornerstone, your daily preparation. It's the objective script you write when you are calm, forcing you to be a specialist and defining your acceptable loss as a simple prepaid cost of doing business. Your goal shifts from making money to executing the plan. Finally, your trading journal provides the reward loop. This is your non-negotiable tool for accountability and self-awareness. It gives you objective feedback on your patterns. By using it to track your adherence to the process rather than just your P&L, you are rewiring your brain. You are giving yourself the positive reinforcement needed to make the new disciplined habit stick. On platforms like IUX, you have access to incredible world-class tools, but those tools are only as effective as the disciplined, process-driven mindset of the trader who wields them. Start small. Focus on the process, and build one good habit at a time. If this episode gave you valuable insight, you can click like, subscribe, and share it with another trader who might need this reminder. In the next episode, we'll dive even deeper and explore more. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.
You've been listening to Trade Alive with IUX. Ready to put these insights into action? IUX is here to power your next winning trade